It's the RIOT podcast. This is the Friday, March 10th edition.
Okay, bye, guys. No,
Yeah, wouldn't that be
outta
great?
here.
Wouldn't that be so great if we just did that?
I really need someone to be like a super podcast fan and go through and like see, are our Friday podcast intros longer, or are we done with the week and they end up being shorter, or what?
Please don't ask our any listeners to waste their time.
You just never know.
It's not wasting time. It's just it's our own focus study group.
Pay somebody to do that for us. Isaiah, you do
Isaiah,
it.
get
You
on
figure
that.
it out.
Well, okay,
I'll work
fine.
on that.
You don't need to do that. We'll just see how long this podcast naturally ends up being.
So some of the things we talked about today, the U.S. has started getting less intelligent.
That's right. Especially the younger and younger you are, you're supposed to be more intelligent every generation, and that's finally changed. The tides have turned, and I mean, to me, Isaiah, here was my take. I guess I'll spoil it. Is that I feel like I now have an advantage
Because you think you're so much
because
smarter?
I'm smart and people are getting dumber. So even if I was average intelligence, if the average intelligence for younger people is going down,
So what's your
that
IQ
means
then?
I will be above average.
What's your IQ?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, then how do you know
It's
you're so
high.
how do you know you're so smart?
643.
Is this the test your mom gave you?
No, she didn't administer
I
that.
forgot he was homeschooled.
Yeah.
Talking about smart.
I want to know if it's an official test, or did your mom just tell you like
Is
our
there,
moms
like,
did?
where do you get an official IQ test?
You
well,
can probably take
it's-
one online.
You can take them online, but
oh,
I don't
you
know
think
if
that's
you can trust
official?
those.
Yeah, you probably have to pay, and then they take your information or whatever.
Well, they get you because surprisingly you got your IQ score, but they got your bank info. So
right,
you go.
exactly. And that proves that you have a low IQ.
You could go sign up and you could go take like the ACT or something. One of those tests, the SAT.
But that's not an IQ test.
Yeah, but that's just like an overall like
it'll
intelligence.
give you a gauge of
of
like
your intelligence.
what you might still remember. But
You
that,
guys want to do that for the show?
I think an IQ test is more like a naturally what
Yeah.
do you just
Right.
have, and not like, hey, you have to study for this big
That's
test.
true.
yeah,
as well.
because SATs are like all
Study based.
essay. Yeah, it's like you're writing essays where IQ just shows what you know, right?
Yeah.
And not how you convey it.
All right, well,
which
let's-
obviously I'd be bad at.
Let's put on the schedule for next week. We'll each take an online IQ test.
That's a good idea.
Oh.
I mean,
And see who ends up.
I know why the U.S. is getting dumber.
Why is it?
It's because parents are not forcing their children to do summer workbooks anymore.
Did you have that when you were
I
growing up?
had that every summer, and I hated it.
I see you did not like it.
I hated it so much that I remember it today. So that's clearly what the issue
Yeah.
is if you aren't doing the summer workbooks. I used to wake up in the morning. This is what's crazy. I used to wake up before school started in the morning.
Yeah.
And every day, my mom would make me do a page of summer workbook
Aw.
and write in cursive.
No.
I would write in
wow.
cursive every single morning.
What a waste.
For no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason.
When was the
The-
last time you wrote in cursive in real life?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I will tell you, I mean, it all ends up being worth it in the end.
It does
Even though I
help.
didn't use cursive,
Uh-huh.
I just have a much stronger work ethic
Did you-
than the rest of the world.
Did you ever do, because going into freshman year, I took summer school, not because I needed to, but then you could take a couple of classes to like get a jump start and not have as hard of a workload. And I remember doing that and I hated it. But then when freshman year started, I was like, wait, that was a really good idea.
Yeah, this was a great idea.
Yeah, so like if you need to, but yeah, okay, we'll see one day whose IQ is what. I
It'll be
think
grand.
we might all be disappointed.
We also talked about how this weekend, a very important weekend for the world. Or is it just the U.S.? Who does this?
For the
What?
Oscars?
No, daylight savings
Oh,
time.
daylight.
Come on.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? We're talking about the Oscars, too.
It's
but
just
Yeah.
us. It's
so
just
is that
us.
just a U.S. thing?
Yeah.
Daylight savings time?
Other countries do it, right? But they might not do it at the same time. And not all of them do it.
Yeah, and not all states. I think Indiana,
Uh-huh. Arizona.
Arizona, and Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah, they don't do the time change.
They don't practice the time change?
They don't practice
No.
the
That's
time
just
change.
allowed?
So if you're in like Indiana, part of the year you're in a different time zone. Or that I guess you switch time zones halfway through the year.
And they
What
always
are you
say,
talking about? That's
if-
not true.
It
They say if you
No,
go
it's
to-
not. I lived in Indiana.
You did not have a time change. They don't do it.
What are you talking about? You're telling me that there was a time period where I lived in Indiana and there was
Yeah.
an hour different from Ohio?
They do not recognize the time change.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Maybe it was after you moved away.
It must
I
have
don't know
been.
how recent it is.
They cover how it's impossible, like if you're traveling into Hawaii, like around the time change, how confusing it is. Because there's
I'm gonna
also
look it up.
there's a normal time change, but then they don't recognize when everybody else
I
does.
feel
this.
like Hawaii, they're kind of their own thing out there. You know, they
Yeah.
can kind of make their own rules. They're so far away.
but not Indiana.
Like, it can be anytime. Indiana, you're in the dead middle of the country. You can't just decide what time you want it to be.
they haven't recognized it for a while.
That's wild because
It looks like they do.
They do? No.
they have to. I lived there.
No.
I don't remember it ever being different.
Why does it have to do with you living there?
Because I lived there and I would call my parents and they didn't live in Indiana.
What state
And it was never a different time.
does not do the time change? Hey, this is coming after our IQ thing, guys, by the way.
They, it looks like they changed it.
No.
This is a
Yeah.
point up for me. This is
They,
an IQ point.
so like part of the state is in different time zones.
Oh, it's the north, the region in the northwest.
So
Yeah.
the only
you know
parts
that?
of the U.S. that
Like
do
near
not have
Chicago.
it are
My friends live
Hawaii,
there.
most of Arizona, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, and a few other
Well,
places.
Darn it, Guam.
All the nice places. It's,
I don't even know where Guam is.
it's
Or if it's a place.
out-
If you said Guam, I wouldn't even know
island.
that's
Let
a
me
country.
prove my IQ to you. Guam is in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
It's a little island. It's like past Hawaii.
Pacific
like
Ocean.
closer to Japan.
No way. I was thinking maybe southeast or southeast.
There, it's south of Japan.
no,
Guam.
and that's
Southeast of
is that like a
Japan.
part of us?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
not a state. It's a territory.
That
Like-
we
had,
own.
like, we own
we
kind
love,
of.
We love.
We have.
But like, why are we so close to Japan?
Because it's like it was a
'Cause it's
military thing.
Yeah.
See, if you said Guam, I was thinking like where Florida is. I was thinking off the coast of Florida.
Not every island is near Florida.
I don't know why we would have an island off the coast of Japan unless we're
Right.
using
Because
it to,
we used to be at
We
war
used
with
to.
Japan.
unless we're using it to spy.
No, but from Hawaii
Well-
to there, you'd have to have places where like plans would land.
Yeah, because the plans would land.
land. Oh my gosh.
It's all right. That's just how you say it. It's
We're
okay.
not doing any
It's
IQ
okay.
thing. We're all dumb. We're not doing
Dang,
it.
so you're telling me we got a place over by Japan.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
you
I've
wanna
never
move
even
there?
been there. That's
think-
what's crazy.
I think we're good.
Well,
at
it's really
this
far
point.
away.
Yeah, I know,
And
but I
there's
didn't
not.
even know.
I mean, it's a tropical, like a Pacific island, but it's. I don't think there's a lot. It's a tiny island.
Wouldn't it be
It's not-
crazy if they became a state one day and they're just
It
like
could
so
happen.
far away?
It could happen.
We'll be even
Like,
one
where are you
day.
going, Isaiah? I'm going to Guam.
Going
Just
to
be
Guam.
back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's very
Spring
nice
break.
there. Yeah, it'd be a
All
long
right.
flight.
For all our Guam listeners, I
Yeah,
apologize.
Uh-huh.
Sorry about that.
I
Sure,
just
it's
like when one of
beautiful.
us is like, huh, didn't know that.
You
We
want to
did not know.
my frame of reference for Guam? Because this is weird. They used to play in the Little League World Series.
Did they?
Yeah,
That's
like I
fun.
definitely remember they used to be in it.
It would be
So
one.
They were good at baseball. Those
So they are
Guam-
real, confirmed.
Those Guamians.
Well, enjoy.
I'm sure that's what they're called.
Enjoy the podcast today. I think we've spent enough time. I think we're okay to go ahead
Yeah.
and kick into
Yeah.
this. Okay?
No, actually, you know what? I've got another 3 minutes in me.
See if you have more.
Yeah.
Stay to the end of the podcast. Hudson has more, but text and say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U, and hopefully everybody does have a great weekend planned.
And we'll catch you Monday.
See you guys.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
I don't know if you've noticed this morning, Nikki, but Fortnite has been down.
It has been.
Yeah. You probably know this, but scheduled upgrades.
Sure.
Scheduled updated is it's the day of the new season.
You know
dropping.
that you go to work and you're at your life is early
Mm-hmm.
when you are up and aware during scheduled maintenance time.
Yeah, we could start playing Fortnite before work, but they
It's
always are
usually
updating it.
maintenance,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
maintenance time. Yeah, any minute now, actually, Fortnite could go back live, and when it does, it'll be the beginning of Chapter 4, Season 2, and some cool new stuff coming, Nikki. I don't know if you've seen that they're partnering up with Attack on Titan. That's like their featured partnership.
Oh,
The
for this
anime.
time? Yeah.
Yeah, they're teaming up with Attack on Titan, so now you can play as I'm not as familiar with Attack on Titan, but Eren Yeager.
Sure.
Are you just agreeing with me, or do you
Well,
actually know who that is?
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I do know Attack on Titan. but
There's also
do I know it that well?
You'll also be able to use a new melee weapon, I believe, that ties into Attack on Titan called the Kinetic Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Again, don't know much about Attack on Titan, but it sounds cool.
It does.
They've also got a bunch of new areas you'll be able to jump into. basically it's going to be real cyberpunk.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was thinking I think I might need to be a gamer again.
You should.
Yeah, I think I should be a gamer.
You can hop back into it.
Yeah, I haven't played Fortnite in a long time, but and obviously a lot of the upgrades coming for this morning for the new season look really interesting, and they've got like you could also play as a lizard man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that ties into Attack on Titan at all.
Listen, there's no better time than jumping back in when everybody's already been
new.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. I was already several steps behind. I'd be even more behind now. But besides all the new upgrades from today, and I don't know how long ago this happened, but I was talking to Nene because he actually is.
Does he play?
A gamer from time to time, and he let me know that. Obviously, there's been a million changes to Fortnite since I played, including that you don't have to build stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I guess you never had to build stuff, but there's a version of the game where you can just shoot and kill people and not have to build fortresses.
Yeah.
So that was a realization that maybe I wouldn't suck
gamers,
as
you're
much.
Like, as long as I don't have to build anything.
Well, I mean, I can only handle so much.
I know.
And
pressure.
I'm not even good at shooting people. Forget about shooting people while they're building a tower as tall as the Empire State Building.
Okay.
I can't do it. So now just all these changes keep coming. I think I might need to be a gamer again.
You should. You can go and play this weekend.
Yeah. There's nothing I want more than to get roasted by a bunch of 13-year-olds.
Well, at least if you're not building, then maybe if you're just playing, you'll be naturally a little bit better.
But I'm definitely not hopping on the chat. I'm not going to have a headset or
just
anything.
Stay quiet.
I don't want to hear what they have to say about me.
Because it's going to hurt your feelings.
It is going to hurt my feelings.
Well.
And I'm a horrible trash talker. I would have nothing to say back to me. I would not be able to defend myself.
You're like, well, your
with
mom.
I wouldn't be able to defend myself with my play or with my words.
Oh, well, Fortnite, Chapter 4, Season 2 starts today.
Yeah, any minute now. So
mega.
Yeah, you can just sit there and watch and pretend like you're
maybe
working
Hudson
or
will join in later.
doing school or whatever. Yeah, maybe you'll see me.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
Now, this weekend, it's a big weekend. We've got to give you the warning that it's daylight saving time.
So you move your clocks ahead this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to save time by losing an hour, but it's going to pay off in the long run, right? So, Isaiah, you were saying you don't understand.
No, I don't understand it.
What
Well, wait.
do you
okay.
not understand?
You don't understand why it's done.
No, I don't understand how we're losing an hour.
You move your clocks ahead.
Yeah, but we're still getting the same amount of sleep, though, right?
It depends on when you go to bed and when you wake up.
Yeah.
You have one less hour.
So if I go to bed at 10:30,
You're really going to bed at 11:30.
11:30,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then instead of waking up at 6, I'm waking up at 7.
It's gonna.
Or am I waking up at
feel
5?
like that.
Yeah, so it'll feel
feel
like
like-
that.
I'm so
Hold on.
confused.
When do you normally go to bed? And
I go
wake
to
up?
bed at 10:30.
And when do you wake up?
I wake up at 5.
Okay. So if you do that at first, the first few days, well, I mean, you're still going to get the same amount of sleep, but the problem is
Your body clock
what is it?
changes.
Yeah, right.
Got it.
It's going to feel like you're waking up at 4 a.m.
Got it. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to want to go to bed at 10:30.
You will not be ready for bed.
Ideally, you would want to go to. You're right. You're going to be tired. No.
Later.
I'm confused. You confused me somehow, and I completely understand.
I'm pretty
it.
good at that. So my body's going to think it's like a 9:30.
Well, it'll just be so much
When I go to
brighter
bed.
later at night, and so your mind's like, "Hey, I don't need to go to bed yet because it's light out." You know,
Perfect.
like some parts of the country will have light till 10:30 at night.
So now I have another excuse to feel tired in the morning.
Yeah. But here, I guess, think of it this way: we set the clocks forward on Saturday night, right? Saturday into Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So if you normally go to bed at 11 or 10:30 to 5, but you wouldn't do that on a weekend. But if it was on the weekend, you would want to go to bed at 9:30. Then when you woke up, everything would feel normal.
Okay.
Okay.
And that would reset. That would
Hey, you know how they're trying to stop having time changes and like you could go and like maybe, I don't know, talk to Congress and like fight this and make this a bill?
Yeah.
I don't think any of us should go and try to be the ones.
so?
No, I don't think we're good enough.
Maybe you should just play this conversation for them.
Sound confused.
And they'll be like, oh yeah, this doesn't make any sense, does it?
Like
The people are confused.
Poor people.
See, I think too. So on Saturday evening,
Saturday night,
the time will go back.
It's technically
forward.
Sunday
Forward?
morning. It goes
It's
forward.
going forward this week.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like 1 a.m. and then it's gonna jump to 2 a.m.
It's going to
Yes.
jump to 3 a.m.
It's gonna jump to 3
We're
a.m.
skipping 2 a.m.
Okay, got it. 1:59 to 3
Hey,
is when it changes, right?
you know what? We'll see you late on Monday, all right?
I'll be here
Yeah.
at some point.
I mean, your phone will do it automatically for you. So you probably won't even note. You may not notice if we didn't say anything.
well, I'm gonna show up an hour late anyway. I'm gonna say it was daylight savings time.
Except
My
that,
phone must not have changed.
But on Monday, you'll be like, why is it still light out at 8 o'clock?
Ooh.
And it'll be a nice surprise, I guess.
I'm excited for that. I like it when it's a little lighter in the evenings.
I know.
It makes me so happy. When it starts getting dark at like 5 o'clock, that's like my little sadness time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting into my happy time.
Yeah,
So
now
I'm
it'll
excited.
get darker later.
Perfect.
So you'll be
That
having
is
a good
what we
time.
want. We want it to stay that way.
All right, so that's
Congress,
this weekend.
if you're listening.
Don't forget to change your clocks because we made it so easy to understand.
Yeah.
You're going to be tired. Just note that.
Wake up at 2 a.m. and change them to 3 to be
You can
accurate.
do it before you go to bed.
This is the Riot Radio U.
This is bad news, at least for some people. The United States getting dumber.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and this is not just me saying that. This is data to back it up. For the first time in decades, if I'm reading this right, for the first time since 1932, United States average IQ scores have gone down.
I'm not worried, though. I feel like it's our testing that's gotten dumber. Like,
The
meaning,
tests are the same.
no, like we just don't do tests as well.
Mm.
And it doesn't mean you're.
So you think we're all just as smart?
Yeah, you're just smart in real life things.
Mm.
Actually, no, sometimes we're not.
Do you really believe that?
I
you
don't
believe
know.
what you're saying right now?
Is this a COVID thing? Because we also just can't go back to testing and
you know
do
what?
that as well.
I think it could be chalked up to that because they're only taking like IQ scores from people over 18,
Yeah.
right? And so they say that they have especially noticed a drop in IQ scores with people that are like aged 18 to 22, particularly people who are like did not go to college or are not going to college, stuff like that. If you have a lower level of education, those IQ scores compared to people with lower level of education previously, those are dropping way more. Although all like across the board, they're noticing IQ scores dropping. And again, this is the first time since 1932, our IQ scores have been going up in the United States.
They say younger generations are always expected to have a higher IQ score than the previous age group. It's just, it is how it is.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
They kind of...
Normally 3 to 5 points per decade.
They're curious about these researchers. This was from Northwestern University and the University of Oregon, where the theory would be that IQ scores are basically just continually always go up, which would make sense once they start going up, that they would stay that way because you then would have smarter people teaching the next generation, and then that, continue and continue and continue. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Now, there's other countries where there's, controversial evidence that goes the other way, like in Norway, for example. They
don't bring them in. They're always smarter.
No, their IQ has been dropping for decades.
Theirs has
They
been.
just keep getting dumber, but that could be us one day.
That could be,
We
I
could
guess.
be Norway. Now, some people might say this is bad news. For me, I'm excited.
Okay.
I think it's positive, personally, because it gives more of an advantage to smart people like me.
Yeah, you do
There's
fine.
less smart people to compete with, and so I have an advantage. I have a leg up.
Well, I
on
like to be the
everyone
person
else.
always remind you need to cheat better than if you're.
Yeah, that's
it's not
right.
like it's as. I mean, you're over 18, so just to get
Yeah.
just get the test done as best as you can.
They also say, and this is something that actually I think could be a huge factor in why our scores are going down. Not necessarily level of intelligence, but it's noted that someone's IQ score can change based off of how motivated people are to take the test and how much effort they put in.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that.
Yeah, that
We're just
could
not
be
motivated anymore.
That could be a big part of it, but still, if I was taking a test, I'd want to prove I was real smart.
No, See, I'm the
But
opposite.
how much research would I do ahead of time?
Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, I just go into it blind, being like, I got this. I'm smart.
Like if I knew this test was also just for their study, I would just be like, I really don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Make the
really not
United
grading.
States look bad. Who cares?
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
We like to stay on top of fashion here on the Riot, so I want to make sure that we don't miss out on this trend. Have you noticed how much puffification has been going on lately?
I have seen it actually with some things.
Yeah,
But
with
it
basically
should-
everything.
It should now be all your clothes should be puffy.
Everything, not just clothes. Your shoes should be puffy. Your handbags, everything needs to be puffy. And you know the reasoning behind the puffy trend.
Well, they're calling it playful puffiness.
Yeah,
But what's the reason behind it?
it is actually driven by like a response to inflation. Get it?
Oh, because
As
all right.
prices inflate, as
So
things
does
get
the
more
clothes?
expensive, the clothes, it's like a way to a play off of the economy and how things are going. It's like, all right, you're gonna puff up the prices, we'll puff up the shoes as well.
Yeah, but the problem is for a lot of the fashion stuff, like it's even more expensive. So I think it would be better fitting if the stuff was puffy, but the price was lower.
That would be, well, that'll happen one day.
One day when
Soon
it's not
the
on
puffy
trend.
clothes, as it becomes more and more, prevalent, then eventually it'll make its way to Five Below and you can get puffy shoes there.
They say it's an interesting response to the climate of our current global condition for inflation.
But I know fashion isn't always just about looks, like it's about, there's an artfulness to it. But ignoring that, do you think any of this, like, is any of the puffy fashion stuff look good to you?
Well, I was looking at a new purse the other day.
Oh, yeah? You going to
and
get a puffy purse?
That's all there was. And I think I don't want to invest money in a purse if it's a puffy purse, because I think this will go out of style pretty quickly. And I like something that's a little bit more classic.
What if inflation just keeps going up and your purse isn't pumped up enough?
It's not puffy enough.
Yeah,
Good
that's
point.
right. You'll have to get one of those needles and
But
inflate it further.
I'm not wearing these puffy clothes.
Although they seem, some of them seem padded. We even talked about, although it's not for fashion, but the airbag pants that you can get to wear on a motorcycle. We thought those looked ridiculous. Now, maybe not so much because they fit in with everything. So it does feel like it'd be like nice and cushiony and keep you safe if you were to have like a stumble and fall down a flight of stairs.
What if you're, trying to lose weight and you want to look smaller?
Yeah.
All the clothes you got to buy now make you look bigger.
No, you can blame it on. You'll be
Blame it
like,
on the clothes?
you wouldn't believe it, but under all this puff, I'm actually quite in shape. I look very, very good. But just to wear this in everyday life, though, like if you can't wear these puffy outfits on a plane or something, you wouldn't be able to fit in the seat.
They say, though, that the collection that's going on right now, a lot of it is taking on the inflation look. Some of it looks like pool floats.
Hey, there you go. Another use for it, too. Summertime's coming up.
Do you want to know the reasoning for that, they're saying?
Oh, there's a reason.
There is. They say sometimes we feel like we're drowning. So that's why they make the pool floaty clothes.
I didn't realize we were all so depressed about that.
There's a statement for everything.
Yeah, I'll tell you my favorite picture. I don't know if you've seen it going around. It's from the Brit Awards where Sam Smith is wearing.
That's the puffy clothes.
That's my favorite
How do you get
picture
in that? How do you sit down in that?
I don't know how you do anything in that. I think that's a runway look or a red carpet look, and you get in for the actual performance or awards or whatever. And
then you take a needle and you just go pop.
Yeah.
Pop all the air
Or you
out.
just have to, you know what? You don't need to sit down. You just like lean over and the puffiness holds you up.
Oh,
You
it's
just
a
lie
look.
down flat and you're good to go.
Well, I don't have to worry. It
Another
won't-
beauty of the puffy pants.
Sometimes, like real fashion like this, never trickles down to where we shop. So it's no big
I
deal.
wanted to. I would love to come into the show and have puffy pants so that I don't have to sit the whole time. I just lean back and
But
I'm good to go.
what if it
I've
keeps
got an
you-
exercise ball permanently attached.
What if it keeps you so far from your microphone? Because, you have the puffy stuff around
That's right.
here.
We're going to have to make some modifications here to stay with the times.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
Rudolph Blaze Ingram. Remember that name.
Terrible name.
Which part? The Rudolph?
Rudolph?
The whole thing.
Blaze.
Who names their kid that?
I see why he goes by Blaze when sorry if your name is Rudolph, but I see why he goes by Blaze. Blaze Ingram. Keep that name in mind. You're going to want to remember it come, say, like 2029 when he's able to go to college and play college football. He's already, you might have guessed he's very young since he's going to be playing college football in 2029.
He's 11.
He's 11 years old. He's already been offered a scholarship to play college football.
For football?
For
At
college
11?
football. Yeah, they say
must
that
be really good.
They believe that he is the youngest player ever offered a college football scholarship. He's 11 years old, and he didn't get the nickname Blaze for nothing. At 7 years old, he was the fastest ever child to run at his age, 7 years old, to run the 100 meters.
He
broke the 100-meter dash record for his age group. And now that was a few years ago. Now he's 11 years old, and Florida A&M University has already said, come to college here, play college football, tear it up, run all over the place.
Do you think that makes you mad if, like, you also have talent in a sport, but you can't get a scholarship?
And you're 16 or 17.
Like you're closer in age, but I feel like. Sometimes with these, like because this, kid has such a name already, and there's always talk about it that they're doing it to get the university talked about then, and it's not just based alone, even though he's very talented.
Yeah, I mean,
good for him.
He's 11. There's still plenty of time for him, especially the way
What
college
if he loses
is now.
it though?
You think they'd take his scholarship away?
For sure.
I mean, like, what if he gets, like, say he hits 16 and then he just
slows
isn't
down.
he
good.
loses it all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like once you're like
He never wants to
other
play football.
skills you can lose if you don't focus on them. I think if you're fast, you're just fast.
But like
You
that
know what
doesn't
I mean?
really matter. Like I know being fast matters in football, but like what happens when this kid's 5'7", 130 pounds?
I don't know. Is that what he's going to be?
I mean that's a risky
How
run.
can you even tell?
Exactly.
at this
That's
point?
why I think giving a scholarship to an 11-year-old is kind of crazy.
I feel he just has so much pressure now on him because I
Yeah.
can only imagine his family dynamic of like,
Exactly.
he wants to sleep in on a Saturday and he's getting yelled at like, you got a scholarship waiting on you. Like I can just see the pressure.
Like, can a kid just be a kid? He's
Yeah.
11 years old. It just seems a little bit too early.
But
to me.
he's talented.
Would you turn down? First of all, you're pretty fast. Would you turn down the nickname Blaze if we
Yes.
gave it to you? You would. You don't like that?
I would not go by Blaze.
Why not? It's pretty
That's
cool.
It doesn't really fit me. I don't think it fits me. It seems like it fits him.
It wouldn't make sense.
Doesn't fit me.
It wouldn't make sense for the.
It's like if I called you Viper. Would you ever want to go by Viper?
I'd love to go by Viper.
Oh, you shouldn't.
I think
No,
that
he'd
really
be like
fits
Rodgers,
me actually.
like Aaron Rodgers.
I think,
You're right.
I think Viper fits me actually.
You think
so.
it fits you?
Yeah. Why don't you try? Let's
I'm
do
not calling you Viper.
The rest of the show, call me Viper,
And we'll call you Blaze.
and we'll see how it
Oh, I
fits.
hate it. I hate it so much.
Well, congratulations to him on his scholarship
It's a
already.
big accomplishment. I hope it works
There's
out for him.
a
That'd be,
lot of
I mean,
time between him now and when he goes to school.
6 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope it works out. That would be sad though. He gets a scholarship, and for some reason you're like, all right, I'm set. I'm going to Florida A&M, and then you don't get it.
I just remember teenage years hits a lot of us hard in
Yeah,
different
he
ways.
hasn't even gone through puberty yet.
He has not.
That means he could get even faster.
It could.
The Riot. Radio U.
Recommend it. Now, Nikki, do you recall? Are you familiar with the movie The Room?
I
I'm
am
sure you
not.
haven't seen it.
I am not.
But if I busted out a few lines for you,
Is it just the one where
it's
it
the
doesn't
really
even look familiar.
It's a comically bad movie. It was made 20 years ago. It's marking the 20-year anniversary of The Room, made by a guy who self-financed it. His name is Tommy Wiseau. So the movie's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a whole crazy deal. And then, if you recall, a couple of years ago, the story of the making of the movie was made into a movie called The Disaster Artist,
Yes.
starring James Franco
Okay, I remember that.
as Tommy Wiseau.
And that was about the original movie.
That was about how about the guy's kind of life leading up to making the movie, and really written from the perspective of his roommate and guy who also was in the movie.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never seen the original movie, and I never saw that one either.
no, but that movie was pretty good. The Room is, again, a comically bad movie. and now they've remade The Room, like the actual movie, not the movie about the movie. They've remade The Room, and let's get this.
How confusing could they make that?
Get this. Bob Odenkirk, as in Better Call Saul Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
He is playing Tommy Wiseau in the movie, the remake of The Room.
Is it a real remake? Or
It's
is
a
it
real
just
remake.
like a funny thing?
It's a real full remake of the movie. I don't know.
Because it looks like it could be for a charity.
It is for a charity.
So it feels like almost like a short.
So I don't know what exactly, like, I don't know how high budget it was or whatever, but I mean, it has Bob Odenkirk in it, but it is for charity. And it is going to be released sometime this spring. Now, does that mean it'll be released at like a couple theaters in Los Angeles or something like that, and then maybe streaming one day or whatever? But it is real. I mean, Bob Odenkirk did the actual movie where he plays. Yeah, he remade. He's the star of the remake of The Room.
He says, and let me tell you, I tried my best to sell every line. And honestly, as I could, I had a blast. It's almost entirely shot on green screen.
Yeah. So again, probably not especially high budget, but neither was the original The Room. So this is going to be something you might want to watch. And okay, if I bust out a few of the lines where he goes, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." He has like a weird accent. You haven't seen clips of this?
I don't think I've seen that
one. Oh,
one.
hi, Mark. That doesn't ring a bell with you.
No, maybe if I was seeing it in context.
You've got to watch some clips of The Room on YouTube or something. And if you watch it, you'll understand why it has a following, or like some dedicated people
fans
who enjoy it, but not because it's good. And why it keeps popping back up 20 years later.
We all love a good bad movie, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.